everybody, I'm Royal Reporter Lydia and I'm just coming on the channel to do a little video about how to send a member of the royal family a letter. Literally everybody has asked me this question and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put it in a video so people can refer back to it, and some people actually don't know how to write a letter, so it's very important to write a letter properly. So I'm just going to teach you how I write a letter and how I write it to the members of the royal family. I've been writing letters to the royal family for about 3, 4, 5 years, on and off, and I really enjoy it. And you don't always get a reply, but most of the time you do get a reply. And I'm very honoured to have letters from Kensington Palace, Buckingham Palace, and yeah, it's lovely to get a reply from the royal family. But lots of people don't know how to do it, so I'm just going to do a little tutorial on how to send a letter to members of the royal family, and I hope you enjoy it and I hope it's helpful as well, because I feel like lots of people want to send a member of the royal family a letter and they don't actually know how to, so I hope this helps you. Anyway, so what you want to do when you're writing in a card or a letter or whatever is you want to make sure you put your address. If you want a reply, you put your address. If you don't want a reply, you just don't put your address. But usually you put your address in the right hand corner of it's probably not how you spell address, but yes. You put your address in the right hand corner of the letter. Now, apologies for the spelling and the writing. I don't write like that in usual, but this is just because I'm also trying to do this with a tripod as well. So yes, address goes here in this, right hand corner of the letter. And then underneath it, you write the date. So the date is the 8th of May today, 2024. So you write the date underneath the address. Make sure you leave so the address goes there, the date goes underneath. Then what you want to do, if you're writing to the king, you always start it with Your Majesty or Sir or something like that. If you're writing to the Prince and Princess of Wales, their children, etc., I always address a letter to the royal children via their parents. So I say, "Dear Your Royal Highnesses, I'm writing to you on the occasion of Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, Prince George's whatever birthday they're celebrating," and then I write that down. So if you're writing to the king or the queen, it's Your Majesty or Sir or Ma'am or stuff like that. But usually you do Your Majesty because then you can write to the king and the queen at the same time, or Your Majesties if you're writing to the king and the queen. If you're writing to the Prince of Wales or the Princess of Wales, it's Your Royal Highness. So that's obviously you write one of these. You wouldn't write all of them. Your Royal Highness or Your Royal Highnesses. If you're writing to the parents for Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Likewise, if you do address your card to Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, you can actually just write Your Royal Highness. That's fine. But I write to the parents for the children, but people do actually address it to George, Charlotte, and Louis, which is completely fine. You can do it. You can be creative. Again, it's your letter. You don't have to do it in a specific way. This is just how I do it, and it's like giving you like a base of what you do. So Your Royal Highness, and you can do Your Royal Highness for the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, the cousins, etc. So you can write to anybody with Your Royal Highness. It's completely fine. So it's either Your Majesty or Your Royal Highness, which is used at the most. So you address it to them and you put a comma, and then this is what people do. This is what people do when they are traditionally writing a letter. So usually you leave like a little indent. I think it's called an indent. I'm not I passed English, but I'm trying to remember the actual phrases for indents and stuff like that. But yes, so I think it's a little indent, and then you put, this is what I do, but you can write, this is just a baseline again. This is just the base of what you can do. It's the basics, basically, but you can be a bit more creative than I'm doing, but, I am writing to, I write in regards to, etc., and then you just write, I'm writing in regards to, I don't know, your birthday, I don't know, your 1 year of your coronation, etc. So you can be like, creative, and you can write whatever you're gonna write here, and it can, you just write the what do you call it? You write the context of your letter here. Usually the palace website says be like, don't write too long letters, because they have to read and read and read and read. Sometimes the king reads them, sometimes the queen reads them, sometimes Prince William, Princess of Wales read them. So, you kind of want to keep it like, brief, but not like too like, sometimes I write one line and then I put, I hope you have a wonderful day, or something like that. But they say on the website they don't want you to be too, they don't want you to write pages and pages and pages, but you can actually write a good letter. It's completely fine. But they say don't write like, page 1, page 2, page 3, because they have to get through loads of letters, and sometimes the king reads them and he has to get through loads of letters, so it's just kind of hard and it makes his job harder. So just make sure you write, on just one bit of paper, a paragraph or two or something like that. That's easy for him to skim through and say, well, what a great, letter. Or his team sometimes look at it as well, and they want to make sure to get through as many letters in a day as possible. So you got to make it easier for them, but you also want to write what you want to write. So yeah, just make sure you be brief, but not too brief, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so once you've written your, whatever you want to write in your letter, some people write, I'm doing a campaign, blah, blah, blah. And that's completely fine. You can write about your campaign. You can write about anything, to be fair, as long as it's not political. They say on the website, do not write anything political. They just throw it away. They don't reply to anything political, so don't write anything political. You can write about birthdays, celebrations, etc. So yeah, and then you can write, usually people end a letter with yours sincerely. Now, this is something that people don't actually, some people put kind regards. I prefer yours sincerely, because it's just more formal, that they are a member of the royal family, so you kind of, and you don't have to be too formal, but you have to be formal so that, they respect that, you're showing respect to the royal family. I mean, the royal family are, they're respected people, you need to respect them, so you need to put a appropriate sort of ending, yours sincerely is a perfect ending to a card, and then you obviously put your name. Mine's Lydia. But you could put, your name, and then, yeah. And then what you do is you send that to the palace. I'm going to show you all the addresses that I personally have, of all the royal family members, and you can send a letter to them on their birthdays, or when they do an announcement, you can send them, get well soon card. For instance, a lot of people, I personally sent you probably saw in my post recently, I posted a get well soon card to the king, and 3.5 months later, I actually received a reply, which was really, really lovely to get a reply from the king. But yeah, most people send it for birthdays and stuff like that. So yeah, that is how you basically write a letter to the royal family. Let's go straight to the addresses now.